Start by cutting two identical pieces of mat board. You'll want the pieces to be just over ½ an inch larger than your tablet. Then you'll cut two pieces of fleece the same size as your pieces of mat board. You should have two of each. Hot glue a fleece piece onto each piece of mat board, but leave an inch gap around all the edges. You'll have to do this in sections a little bit at a time so the glue doesn't cool before you get the fleece glued onto it. Next you'll cut a piece of ½ inch wide elastic, and you'll want to put it a little more than an inch from the corner. Using something sharp, poke a hole through the elastic fleece and mat board. I'm using a compass spine here. Then you'll push a scrapbooking brad through the piece of elastic and through the hole in the mat board. Flip it over and you'll spread out the feet of the brad. Do that to both ends of the elastic and then do the same thing to the other three corners. Trim off any overhanging elastic. Check to be sure your tablet fits. Next cut two identical pieces of ½ inch foam the same size as your two mat board pieces. Then you'll hot glue the foam to the back side of the mat board, the side without the fleece. You won't leave the inch gap around the edges this time, but again you'll have to do it in sections. Do that to both pieces. Next, lay one of your mat board pieces foam side down on your cover fabric and pin back the unglued edges of the fleece. Then you're just going to hot glue the edge of the cover fabric to the exposed mat board all the way down the edge. Unpin the fleece and then do the same thing to the top and bottom edges as well. Then you'll glue down all the open edges of the fleece, hiding the edges of the cover fabric. Next, set your tablet on top of your freshly covered piece of mat board. Cover it with the other piece of mat board foam side up, and then pull the edge of the cover fabric over it. Pull the edges tight, and then unfold the cover fabric, holding the top piece of mat board in place so you know where it needs to sit. Cut off some of the excess if it's over 1.5 inches. Then you'll glue the edges of the cover fabric under the fleece to the mat board just like before. It's a bit harder on this piece because of the elastic, so you'll have to glue it in small sections and cut notches out of the fabric so it will fit around the brads. And then of course you'll glue down the fleece once your cover fabric is glued. Fold your Kindle cover with the outsides together and run a line of hot glue along the exposed edge of one of the pieces of foam. Then turn the cover on end to set the glue. Do the same thing with the other exposed foam edge. Then your tablet should fit nicely. Put a piece of sticky backed Velcro on the front of the cover and stick the corresponding piece of Velcro on a 5 or 6 inch piece of fabric. Put the two pieces of Velcro together then pull the fabric strip tight, flip over the cover, and hot glue the end of the fabric strip to the back of the cover. For a finishing touch, hot glue a strip of gold ribbon 1/2 inch from the bottom on the cover all the way around. Trim the edges and secure them with a little hot glue. Then do the same thing at the top. So then you have your finished tablet cover, which can stand on its own and fold up like any store-bought cover.